Okay, so this puzzle, not too bad, actually. In fact, I kind of like this puzzle a lot. You have to get the animals in their proper order according to the riddle, and have them at their proper facing, and either up or down for alive or dead. I actually thought I was gonna have to skip this puzzle because I thought it was gonna be a bit more complicated than I originally thought it would be because of the alive and dead, left, right, and order aspect. There's actually a lot of features to this, but I was actually pretty surprised that I managed to complete it. Now, with that said, while this does meet both requirements of a lock, being that it does require physical objects, and it does require secret information, the riddle, I still have a hard time saying that this is a good idea for a lock. But it's better than some, so I can give it credit, I guess. Holy shit, I solved it!
There we are. It is simplicity itself.
Wow, I didn't think I'd actually be able to solve that one.
The Stan's slush fund. I wonder what happened to the owner that he should leave without his savings.
Probably buy off the guard then. I'm guessing I can buy off the guard.
It's open.
Oh, it's
This
open.
building was a menagerie. I'm in the service passage. Apparently it's a medicine chest for first aid, I presume.
Huh?
Close. Impossible to open it.
You've got a pair of bolt cutters right there, Holmes.
Impossible to close.
You have a perfectly good set of bolt cutters right there.
Oh, what a smell. There must have been wild animals here once.
Whew.
I pity the animals that were shut up in here. The cages are very narrow.
Yeah, call PETA.
Nothing of interest here.
Took the guard wandering by. Why did it go into third person for that?
This cage has been blocked with planks, so that the interior is hidden from view.
Alright.
A large syringe for a key. Old bandage. Everything points to that cage having been used to treat sick animals.
I would talk with the animals, walk with the animals. I can't really remember the rest of that song.
Apparently it's a...
Use key.
The only thing intact is this bottle of ether.
Ugh.
If the guard sees me, he will sound the alarm.
Yeah, I know what to do with this, Holmes. I don't really think
Everything points...
I don't really think that the ether is a good thing to use here, though.
A large... Everything points to that
Am I trying to...
old back. Everything
Okay, so what... I'm a little confused now what exactly you want me to do. I would have thought you'd want me to inject him with the ether, or smother him with the ether, or do something with the ether, but apparently not. Oh, hello.
I need something. I need... There. That should interest our guard.
Really? I'm going to lure him with money? Really? This is very silly. Now where do I hide? Where do I hide? Where do I hide? Apparently I still have some money left, so I'm supposed to put it somewhere. That's the trapdoor I saw out there.
You there!
Okay. So that happened, I guess. Put money there. Put money
Good.
there.
My little stratagem is in place. All I need to do is to wait for him to come back here.
Not sure what you're going to be doing here. Money? Why, it must have fallen from the sky, dropped by pixies covered in fairy dust. Look, by Jove, there's more money. And still there is more money, leading me into this easily sealable cage. Why, I would suspect a trap if I wasn't so trusting. Oh. Okay. Now I lock him in, or... But he'll make a
Shut him
noise.
up, and quickly.
Here, drink this. Z-Z-Z-Z-R Z-Z-Z-Ron Z-Z-Ron Z-Z-No Z-On Z-Z-Z-Z-Ron Z-Z-O.
Perfect. Thanks to the ether, this baller will sleep for a long time. Perfect.
Wow, somebody actually wrote that. They couldn't just write Z-Z-Z-Z-Z, no, that's Z-Z-Z-Z-R, capital R, it's lowercase r, is R, R-O-W, R-O-W. Okay. Let's have a look-see around now. Let's see, I can't get in there. We are looking for Moriarty. Henry's Picture Show. Is that of the adult variety? I may never know. Alright.
Another guard. This place is full of them. I cannot risk a confrontation. He'll see me coming, and I'll lose the element of surprise. I'll need to find a way to trap him.
They're looking in here.
They must have exhibited those poor wretches in these cages and presented them as being dangerous.
Jesus Christ! The bearded lady.
Bearded lady?
Ghost.
This large, empty aquarium held the fair's main attraction.
Which was...
Be careful of those boxes. They are balanced, one on top of the other. It would take very little to knock them over.
I'm just letting the player know that. Because apparently now I can break forth. Jesus Christ! Did they eat the bearded lady?
People must have been locked up in here, and they are certain to have been mistreated.
No shit, Sherlock! What tipped you off?
This cage is still occupied. Not by one of the monsters, but by a poor man.
I think he's doing the Cthulhu dance!
He's still alive, but he's barely human now. Moriarty must have tested his poison on this poor fellow. If he was freed, he would leap at the throat of the first person he saw.
Oh, that's what all the blood is from. He tested the poison on the freaks.
The mermaid, Poseidon's daughter.
Ugh. Interesting, I think. Can I get up to that chemical set? Never mind, I don't think I want to get up to that chemical set. Let's see. This is the way up.
I suppose it was on this small stage that the monsters were presented to the public.
Oh, this looks great. Hey, wait a minute, I recognize those intestines and spleen. That's Jack's work.
chemistry material.
Oh, that was a creepy sentence.
Ah, here's something interesting. Hans's diary.
Monday 8. Moriarty is behind schedule. I've been waiting for 2 days now for the materials I need for my research to be delivered. He will have to get a move on if he wants me to take over the work he has started. My patience is at its limits. I have filled the time by reorganizing this place, an old fair sideshow exhibiting monsters. I don't know if Moriarty is aware of the irony of the situation. Excuse me. To calm my impatience, they brought me a subject at the end of the morning, a dirty old tramp in good health. He will do. I'm going to test the last evolution of Moriarty's poison on him. Night has fallen. The test is finished. We had to kill the subject. His continuous roaring annoyed the boss. I can understand now why he needs my genius to help him advance his research. The subject was in such a state of murderous mayhem that he became completely uncontrollable. He didn't even seem to understand the simplest orders. It's a long way from the desired result. Tuesday, May 9th. The material still hasn't arrived, but on a brighter note, I received 2 new subjects. A man in his 50s, thin hair and toothless, and another who is younger, but equally repulsive. We should be thanked for the cleaning of such parasites off the streets. Wednesday 10. I was woken to the middle of the night by screams and laughter which seemed to be coming from the freak show. 2 of Moriarty's men, completely drunk, had locked the 2 subjects up in the same cage before giving them a bowl of poison. They were amusing themselves by betting on the combatant's outcome. I hurried off to warn the boss, we can't waste material this way. I rather liked their expressions when they woke up a few hours later in the cages instead of the tramps. It must have been the worst hangover of their lives. Thursday 11. I finally received the materials for the ingredients which will allow me to modify Moriarty's poison. The first experiment is going to be very simple. I'm just going to make a few drops of my famous will-annihilating poison and mix them with Moriarty's poison. We will see if that has sufficient to make them obey orders. It's a failure. The subjects didn't even have time to kill each other. They died in less than 30 seconds after being given the 2 poisons. The effects of the 2 poisons didn't add up as expected. On the other hand, I'll keep the dosage in mind. A poison that fries the brain so quickly cannot really be called a failure. Friday 12. I worked all night and developed the second dosage. This time I distilled a cure differently to obtain a less powerful derivative. I also modified Moriarty's poison, but he was not very open to the composition, so I had to improvise. Another failure. The subjects did not die immediately, but they were as uncontrollable as the others. The only difference of the note is that the wounds and the tissue damage did not get any worse after the poison was taken. That's of no interest. We are not here to treat them. Moriarty assisted in the experiment. He did not say anything and left in silence. He wasn't pleased. I think he's getting impatient. Saturday 13. Moriarty is becoming impatient. No shit, Sherlock. Or Hans. The idiot doesn't understand anything. He dares to question my talent. He was the one who came to me to modify the poison. He'd been trying for weeks now without success, and now he wants me to succeed in 2 days. We had a heated discussion about it, but I finally got him to admit that a chemist has no choice but to bow to the rules of science. It's nature that sets men in rhythm, not the other way around. I tried another dosage. The third test is semi-failure. This time the subjects alerted to bouts of madness with the fall in blood pressure. He went from enraged to comatose in a few seconds. I think we are on the right track. Moriarty doesn't want me to wait any longer. This morning he openly threatened me. He has given me 2 days to obtain the conclusive result he gave me to understand the past deadline. I'll go from being a researcher to becoming a guinea pig. I am confident enough that I was able to worm the components of his poison out of him. And as I thought, the problem isn't with my creation, it's with his. The idiot apprentice chemist who worked on this made many mistakes with the dosage, and I am amazed that it produces the effects it does. I've spent more than 10 hours going over the dosage of Moriarty's poison, and I have finally attained something sufficiently pure to be mixed with my personal composition. The new subject must be delivered as soon as possible. I'll wait to see the results. I succeed. The problem wasn't with my poison, but with theirs. It was much too strong. I modified it. Subject without blah 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 blah. True, I modified and the subject became too provided the idiot Proved the immediate without losing any of his fury. True, he did eat his own hands, but this time it was because we told him to. This is the first time I've seen Moriarty smile. Okay, I'm actually running really up on time here, so we're gonna stop in the middle of this, then we'll come right back. Jeez, eat your own hands. That's an interesting order. Stop. Okay. We have attained the objective! At any time, Moriarty can poison a large section of London's population. The choice of Whitechapel area is a natural one. It is there that the greatest number of the starving can be found. So at the given moment, these thousands of ragged soldiers can invade the city, spread chaos such as the British Empire has never seen. Nothing will stop their fury. Okay, so this isn't quite the Great Mouse Detective. Nothing can stop their fury. The devastation will last for the time that the boss needs to seize power and place the pathetic crown, that pathetic clown Woodville on the throne. Then the killing frenzy will stop of its own accord. I programmed the poison to last for 48 hours. After that, the subjects will join their victims in the paradise of the flea-ridden. I am now going to be able to mass-produce this wonderful poison. Moriarty has set his men to cleaning up the warehouse below. It is the perfect place, and it even has an enormous reservoir in the roof. The boss came here in person to pay me part of the money I was promised for my work. I'll have the rest of it when the plan has succeeded. I will soon be incredibly rich.
What a dreadful diary. That Hans is the only real monster ever to have frequented this attraction.
Alright. Oh, great. My friends, as you all know, the next week our adventure must come to an end. You also know that I am no good at speeches, so I'll keep this brief. After all these years spent with you here, I can honestly say that I think of you as my family. I am going to miss all of you, but before the fair closes, we've got one last week in business, and during this time I want you all to give the very best of yourselves, so that the public will never forget us. So, before getting back to work, here's a list of jobs this week. Roger, clean the aquarium. Alice, kitchen. Tom, pest control. Martha, responsible for the keys to the place. Keith, upkeep of the rail and the cages. H. Ferguson.
The bearded lady kept the key to this exhibition. Interesting.
So that was why. So that was who Ferguson was then.
There is something interesting here. Here's what I've been looking for.
Wow, that was kind of. I would have thought we'd have to go to the bearded lady's dressing room. Crank. Oh, crank. Here we go.
I wonder what this... A rail system is fixed to the ceiling, and a hook is hanging from it. It must be used for moving heavy and bulky objects. The crank is in place. The hook is above the cage of this poor wretch.
Now, how do I lower it?
The hook is above the cage of this poor wretch.
Just wanted to move it back and forth a few times. Alright. How do I get it down?
I need some. There. The rope is in place.
Wolfman. Okay. Hello.
This way I can open the poor fellow's cage from the outside, without taking any risks. The trap is in place. Now I only need to get the guard to go inside the freak show.
This will be interesting.
The guard must have been...
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out!
The guard is inside. I must close the door quickly.
And quickly I go.
I can't. Closed. I must find a way of neutralizing.
Okay. Hey, Wolfman! It's chow time! It would be. Why didn't that work? Oh, here we are. that's menacing. And the synapses slowly begin to fire. Quick, tell him to eat his hands! Wow, that's dark. Oh, he's safe. Although, wasn't the
Well, I'll be leaving you. I'm sure you have a great many things to do.
With that said, though, wasn't the idea to make sure the guard didn't make a lot of noise and alert everybody else? Seems like I've made quite the distraction with that. Wait a minute, what the fuck?
But what have we got here?
Ah, there you are, Holmes. Did you have any problems?
None, apart from a few small things. What have you found out about this warehouse?
Prince Woodville's soup is loaded and contaminated by hands.
And in the direction of Whitechapel. Watson, in a few hours, Moriarty will have at his disposal a formidable army, more powerful and more terrible than anything that has ever existed.
Wait a minute.
What?
The soup is destined for a poverty-stricken, starving population who have been conditioned for months against the ruling powers. Moriarty won't have any trouble in sending thousands of raving mad people to ravage the city, sowing death and destruction. No force would be able to resist them, not the police, not even the army. A perfect army, knowing neither fear nor pity. A tidal wave of humanity which will cover London and will fall away again, leaving a city of desolation behind it.
What horror! And the chaos will only make Moriarty's coup d'etat even easier. But how will he guard himself against this bloodthirsty crowd?
The chaos will only last for the time he needs.
You mean to say?
That these poor wretches will all die. 48 hours after ingesting the soup, according to our good Dr. Shielman. So the victims will be joined by their executioners. An immense mass murder. What Moriarty would call clearing up after work.
His goal all this time has been to make rage zombies.
Good. Have you found a way of stopping Hans's process?
Yes, I
What
think
was
so.
good about
If we
that?
can weaken the reservoir's feet with the explosives, for example, it will collapse and take the building down with it.
Good work.
What are you looking at?
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Never.
A giant satellite dish? Rage zombie armies, and now space aliens. Apparently we are in Silent Hill. Here's the UFO ending.